Welcome to Faster Than Light with ElfCorp. It's probably the only video I'm ever going to make of this. I wanted to show you just how I got the little bugger down, or the big bugger. As you can see here, I've got all my systems pretty much all. I've got shields and engines upgraded. I'm a big fan of evade. I can't get enough of it. You've also got doors maxed out because geez, that helps with fires and borders. In this particular setup I've got weapons maxed out, but it's a bit of unusual. It's probably the first time I've come in with weapons maxed out. Usually I love to play with the ion cannons and disable and all that kind of jazz, but I haven't had a lot of luck with that one. So this is my first real major attempt at the boss with the rebel. What is it? The red tail. So yeah, you always got to know where your repair stations are. In that case, even though it doesn't get marked again later on, remember where it is, because it always repairs your hull back to max when you go back there, or at least it seems to in my case, but I didn't have the hull all the way down here. You know, I'm just playing around with my setup, what I'm going to do here, because I've got the second phase a few times, but just pretty much just been blown away by his what do you call it, his drones. I've decided in this case to go with the missile just because of the huge shield pen and the damage it does when the Hermes hits. I've also got the weapon augmentation, the pre-charging one, which helps immensely, so whatever I'm putting in my slots is what I want to fire first. So off we go. He's a big bugger. For me, I'm usually a big fan of getting your weapons down first. I mean, you've got the 4 weapons from the left to right. You've got, I think it's ion cannons on the left, then some sort of bloody green goo missiles or green goo blasts. The third one there, the one that I'm targeting, is triple missiles. They're the keys. You got to disable them first, because geez, don't they bugger you up. And there's also a pike beam at the end there, or some sort of beam weapon, but as you can see, that doesn't get through the shields. You'll watch a fair bit in this because I didn't focus down the hull missiles like I should have in the beginning. He gets a heap of shots on me. I should have sent my away team over to him straight away, over to the missiles straight away, but what can you do? I've got 2 Manus there that have done a lot of work, so I think they've both got double fighting, so they destroy stuff pretty quick. I mean, the Manus have already got their double damage bonus, or whatever it is. I didn't upgrade my teleporter in this instance, which I paid, you know, the extra evasion's a blessing, but on the flip side, you can't get them, you can't turn them around as quick, but what do? You can't upgrade everything. So once that gets online, I'll go back. I think I send them over to the hull, what do you call it, the missile bay this time. I mean, I don't care about drones. I did get the drone controls, but in the end I just didn't have the resources for it, and the anti-ship drone wasn't going to do squat against the boss. And system repair drones, well, I had 2 NGs running around the ship that were going nuts, so I went with them in the end. Yeah, I got the right idea eventually. I was thinking to myself, oh you idiot, why the hell did you go down one, but whatever. As luck would have it, the Hermes set fire to the pike beam, so that pretty much nails that crew member quickly. I'm also thinking about downing the other crew members. And pretty much to do that, you've got to take out the med bay. With any of these ships, if you don't take out the med bay, there's not much you can do, because you've got to remember that the crew can't repair the med bay while you've got people in there. So if you can teleport people into the med bay and disable it, you're laughing, assuming you got some good fighters. So I've had enough of beating down on that one. Coke Zero. It's probably not as healthy as some people think it is. So at this point, the first phase is pretty much face roll. As soon as you take the missiles out, you're laughing. You just systematically go through and disable the weapons, and the best way I've found is with a crew teleporter. It you know, it'll take you a year to knock them all out without that. I've never even tried another strategy, to be honest, or if I did, I didn't last long, so I don't remember it, which is probably the more likely option. This cloak's a bit annoying, but it gets destroyed in the first phase, so he only does it for this one. As you can see, I'm just waiting for me teleporter to charge up again, and as soon as I notice it's finished charging, I'll send old mates over. I was thinking about putting them in the med bay, but it just wasn't damaged enough, it just wasn't worth it. One key thing to remember is you should never take out all their crew, always leave somebody there, because otherwise the ship has this really aggressive AI that kicks in and then it heals everything simultaneously, and it's a bit of a bloody disaster. So never destroy all their crew, which means don't destroy their oxygen and then defend it or something. Just waiting for them to finish destroying that. And once I've done that, there's no attacking by the rebel flagship. As long as you can destroy their ship, you've won this first phase. That's it. So it's pretty easy. All you gotta do is have a crew teleporter and a half decent defense system. In this case, I've got max shields and evade, and that's the first phase done. Just systematically move through, you know, take the weapons out. It's key that you do it in the right order, in that do the missiles first. I've seen I've got my hulls down a little bit here, so I'm gonna make my way back to where I knew there was a repair station, which was just there. In this case, I'm gonna have to go through a rebel controlled sector, but what do you do? I could have just attacked the rebel flagship here, but I'm far enough away from the base that I thought I really need to repair, because I've never got past the second sector. The second phase of the boss. You can see here I've got everything pre-charged, so I've just unloaded on the shields to try and destroy them, or at least disable them a bit. If you all haven't realised, asphyxiating people is a great way of removing borders. In this case they've gone, it's a great ship design because they always seem to go for the drone control, and it just is so easy to suffocate people on this ship. I can't recommend it highly enough if you're a sicko like me. Off we go, and you'll see me hull get fully repaired. Even though it doesn't say anything, it will do that whenever you go to one of these sectors. As luck would have it, old mate's coming for me anyway, so I thought I might just chill here and get me oxygen back. Just threw an extra one in teleporters just in case I need it. Same with medbay. At this point you've got money to burn, you don't need to fight ships. If you don't have the dough when you get into the last sector, if you're still having to fight stuff to earn money, then you're probably not geared enough. You've got to be using all your power, and you've got to have it distributed around, you know. I mean, in this case I've got, you know, guys that are tooled up with engines, and he's not quite tooled up in the shields, he's only got one thing, but it makes a huge difference, especially the engines. I mean, I've got 55% of aid. If you rock it in with, you know, a pittance on your engines and you've got like no evade, you just got no hope. You know, it doesn't help with your missiles, but with all the laser weapons, especially in this sector where he's got, you know, drone after drone coming at you, which you'll see in a sec, the evade is just so useful. Yeah, so the first thing he does is starts firing bloody boarding drones, and that just pierces your shields. In this case, he's gone from your sectors and sensors, and I've gone, I'll attack him for a bit, but I think I get bored with it after they start dying and just bail out. So you can see also I've teleported me guys on. They're going to start taking out that missile launcher again. And then we'll move on to the other weapons. We'll disable those three, and then we're looking at disabling the drone control. And that's the biggest challenge here, is disabling that drone control, because if you can take that out, you're fine. But it's very tough. The max shields also makes a massive difference in this sector when he deploys, you know, his 10 drones. You'll also see me for a bit here. I'll keep firing my Hermes missile at it. I'll eventually get the idea that it's not going to do anything. Oh, I did just say that proved me wrong because the drone control is out of control. But while that defense drone's floating around the ship, it's extremely hard to hit with a missile. So at some point here, I switch over to the heavy laser and just keep trying to hammer down the shields. Same time, I'm systematically taking out the weapons. So the worst part of this phase is you've got a lot of things going on. You've got a boarding drone on your ship, you've always got the drones coming at you from them, and you've also got his weapons. You've got to be taking out all three at the same time. And this goes on for a while. You just keep plugging away, taking out one system, taking out the other. Here, I've got to get my guys back, and that's it. You just got to keep pausing it. You just got to keep pausing it and keep looking at the situation, because if you try and do this on the fly, it's just a bloody nightmare. You'll just miss too many things. Sort of the status at the moment is I've disabled 2 of their systems. I've only got the what do you call it, the green laser goo things left. I also got an achieve. I had 5 misses in a row with fully upgraded engines. They're hammering pretty hard to get their drones back online. I mean, it's they're everything in this phase, so they're going to be hammering it pretty hard. Again, as soon as you disable one boarding drone, they just send another one on. You've just got to keep taking them down, and you got to keep them under control. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. Probably should have just let them down him, but whatever. Oh no, sorry, they did get the NG in. And you see straight away they sent another boarding drone. They don't piss fart around. So you just got to deal with it. You're going to keep getting them. You can, I mean, if you're happy, you can just let them wail on your ship, but there's a point where it's going to become a bit annoying. I had no visibility of the enemy ship for this phase, but it seems like I took out a few of their crew once I got to the 3rd sector, so there's a lot to be said about continuously wailing on a room that they're repairing, because it does hurt the enemy crew. So my guys should be just about ready to transport over. If I get me head in line. I'm going with the theory there that I need to start taking the shields out a bit more, so I'm just going to start hammering the ion blast out of the shields. And I've also thought I might give this a bit of a go, because the green goo gun, I really should have found the name out, but the green goo gun isn't really hurting me. It's just missing all the time, or it's getting absorbed by the shield. So I've gone for a bit of a put myself on the offensive there, and in this case I've gone and started destroying that. I'm going with the theory that as their crew members get damaged, they'll run off to the med bay rather than defending the drone control. But my guys were dying, so I just had to get them out, so fully bailed. But I'm still keeping the drone control down. It means, by the way I'm looking at it, they seem to be focusing the power on the offensive drones and leaving the boarding one alone. So even if you get a couple of hits off on it, it stops that boarding drone from wrecking your ship up. Starting to get a few shots off now. You can see I'm definitely on the offensive here. That iron blast helps immensely when you've got a guy with the mad weapon skills, because you can just hammer it in every couple of seconds and it just will eat it away. I've shifted it over to focus on the shields, so the misses hit the shields and the half hits hit the shields. You know, I've also totally screwed up here, and these guys, one of these guys is about to get iced, but what do you do? You might have noticed that if you move your crew around, they won't get hit, even if they're running in the same room. So if you've got guys that are low on health on an enemy ship, just run them around until you've got your teleporters back up. It's a bit of a hacker way, but it works pretty well. So you see I've got them under control here. All good. And that's the second phase down. Control the drones and you control the phase. If you can't get the drone control down, at least partially, you'll just sit there and watch your ship get destroyed. There's no two ways about it. They'll eat you through your ship very quickly. So that was the max shields, the evade, and you got to have something. You got to have a missile or some way of downing that drone control, and you got to have it down for the whole phase. You can't just do it at one point and let it get back up. Now what I did there, I was at the repair station, so all I did was wait, and that was enough to trigger it to repair my hull. So yeah, now you're going to get crew teleporting on, and he's got a Zoltan shield and some super weapon thing that doesn't come from any of the weapon stations. This is pretty much just a DPS check, for want of a better word, even though it's the third phase of a boss fight. You've just got to get the boss down now, or hope that you can last long enough to do it slowly, you know. Luckily enough for me, they must have had half their crew in the drone base, so when it broke off, everyone got iced, and they had 2 guys left, and that was, I guess that's probably the only luck I had in this fight, but it didn't make too much difference because they've only got humans, and they were going to get nailed in my ship anyway if they came on board, so no biggie. Again, I'm going with the same strat. I'm downing the missiles, weapons. In case you hadn't noticed, the crew doesn't respawn through each phase either. There's this super weapon going off that just fires a bazillion of the green goo bombs. It wasn't too bad. The shields absorbed most of it. I evaded the other half. So at this stage you're thinking, I've got a fair chance here. My little mantis over there, he isn't destroying those missiles real quick, but it's enough. The bloke that's teleported on's gone, so there's only 1 crew member left on the ship. So if you do damage something in that main bay, he's going to have to leave, which means their evade pretty much disappears. I assume, I don't know if they've got any, I don't know if they had any, what do you call it, autopilot or whatever, but either way, their evade's going to go through the floor. So if you can do something to draw him out, means their evade's going to go down, wail on their ships, wail on their shields, and you know, you're laughing. You're in a good position at this point. I made a bit of a blunder here. I tried to flush all the fire out, and all that happened was my door control eventually got destroyed, but what do you do? I'm getting a lot of shots off here. And if you needed any, if you watch when that super weapon comes across, hardly any of them hitting, and it's not doing anything. So once I get these missiles down, he doesn't really have anything else that is going to hurt me. So there's his missiles down, which is fantastic. I'll wait for me teleporter to recharge, and I really should have just powered it up more at this stage, but I think I was happy with the formula I had going. Didn't want to rush things. And you can see how many are missing there. It's just, it's so worth it. Old mate there's about to die from lack of oxygen. I was just sort of pausing and restarting because otherwise, if they're repairing it and they bail right at the end of the repair, then it doesn't complete it. So in this case, I did get the door control up just before he died. Got my other NG mate go and fix the door system. That's because I've got the upgraded doors, so I wanted to control that fire a bit. Send old mate back over, destroy the green goo gun. and I'm focusing fire on the shields, because at this stage I'm just trying to destroy him now. Really, that's what it comes down to. Just trying to press home the advantage now. As you can see, he's also, when he repairs his shields fully, he also gets his bloody Zoltan shield back up, which is a luxury you don't get if you are the Zoltan. That'd be bloody handy, but that's alright. I've left the Iron Blast going because that takes out two bits out of his 10 thing shield. What do you call it? Two chunks, 2 hits, 2 damage, that's it. But I think I got the shits here and just decided to just throw the Hermes at it. I've got a few missiles left, so I might as well just dump them on it. My little Mantis has done the job, but you can't teleport back while the shields are up, which is a bit of a bummer. So there's his firing away at his bloody super weapon again. Good luck to him. I really don't know where my missile went, it just kind of disappeared off into the wilderness there, which is a bit of a bummer. Could have spent a bit more time healing when we crew up in that here, but there was no real need because there was no missiles or anything left, or any breach bombs or anything like that that would cause dramas. So now I'm just thinking about how I'm best going to take down his shields. And that's a pretty good way of doing it. And once you got that first shot off, you've got that one crew member left. He's out of the piloting chair, so their evades now just about gone, and the missile will keep connecting, and it's GG. In addition to that, he's run off to heal himself because the AI will heal their guys, then repair, and then go back to piloting. I thought just to rub sort of insult into injury, I'll go and wail on their piloting chair a bit. Just to make things a little bit more difficult for them. I probably nearly did a silly thing there and kill their crew member, but what do you do? And yeah. And no, I didn't get him back, so he died gloriously, unfortunately. And there you have it. That is how you destroy the Rebel flagship. It was only on easy, but screw you. I can't do that on normal. Yeah. So it's just about having a sort of a build on your ship that covers a few different situations, but it's nothing that's over the top. I was lucky enough to pick up a few weapons early on, and that made it a lot easier. I picked up a large variety of weapons, so I didn't have to pay for any of those. Yeah, I love that. I didn't have anyone die and had most crew hide, so yeah, I had a bit of luck, I guess, in terms of drops, in terms of the weapons that dropped. I picked up a great variety of weapons, picked up a good assortment of crew, but in the end, get that crew teleporter going early on. That's early on in the sectors, because geez, you earn a lot more money when you use the crew teleporter if you kill the crew rather than just destroying the ship. And upgrade your engines, upgrade your shields, and go nuts. And there you have it. So until next time, although there probably won't be one on FTL, bye.